Appreciate you, Gary. Hey, just a little side note here on that Facebook page. The reason why we started that new Facebook page, we've been really inspired how a Texas team is using Facebook. Every time someone joins their team, they go onto Facebook, they welcome them, people are throwing out comments, people will drop video trainings on there, they'll share real estate testimonials, IBD success, and we've seen how it is actually a great source for training. I would invite everyone to start using that Stromberg page to welcome your teammates, because if your IBDs go there, they're going to see tips, training, all sorts of things, but it only works if you use it as your vehicle. Listen, Facebook, you can't normally on your own Facebook personal page talk about Stromberg all day long. People won't like you because they want to see you interact on a relationship level, not as a business. This is a business page. So man, this is everything Stromberg under the sun. So I totally invite you to get proactive on there and invite your teammates on there because they're going to benefit from that. So
the one he just told us.
The one he just told you about, the Stromberg group, official Stromberg group. All right. Here's what I want to do today. I want to talk about something that has been happening around the country, and it's a shift in mindset. And there's this growing divide between a group of very successful IBDs and then I would call it the more normal IBDs, right? What I want to do is I want to talk about the Dixons, Trisha Dixon. She works with John Marshall and Wileen and Clint Benson. And Trisha was at convention and she made a commitment to do the Compress and Explode for 90 days. And the whole purpose of a 90-day Compress and Explode is to grow your team by how many? 100 people. So she texts me over the weekend when they hit their 90-day mark and she said, we're pleased to let you know that we vetted, we proved the model. We had 107 IBDs join our team in that 90-day period of time. And I've been interviewing her and her husband through the process, and there is a difference in how they run their business than how I see most IBDs running their business. The biggest difference is they don't go for game plans. They go for selling maps. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I've put a little map together as I've been interviewing her and her team. Even like Kristen and Riley Alexander, I think they got pretty close, if not complete, to their 10 wide on their own team that you do, and then work with your team to help each person get their 10 wide. Well, we've got some great methods for exposing, right? We've got grand openings. I think grand openings have probably led out to Gary and Carolyn Norris's biggest month they ever had. In fact, I'm sad that we're not seeing more of this happen around the country because this is a proven model. Eric Worre says that what you can do in 20 months, do in 20 days. And a grand opening is a way to help a new person do massive exposure so that they can fill their pipeline. Running the play with the Stromberg magazine is a great belly-to-belly approach when you're meeting people in person. PS3 is a new system. I'll talk a little bit more about that. We've got obviously three-way calls. There's a lot of ways of doing exposures. When you expose someone to the business, let's talk about what the goal is. If your goal is to produce a game plan, the way many people play the business, then there's this mental hope that if I submit 20 game plan requests, that I'm going to get paid what? $2,500, because every 20 game plans equates to $2,500. There's only one problem with that model. You're putting all of your production in whose hands? Someone else's. So if you're actually trying to grow a team and grow a business, you don't even know what you're going to get paid from one week to the next. But if you shift the focus to selling the map, that's a very different game. In fact, look at what we've got here. What is it that Stromberg really sells? What you're really pitching at the end of the day is real simple. Are you committed to having real estate be a part of your retirement? That's it. And if it is, then what does everybody need? Okay. They need the map PSA. They don't need a game plan. They need a map. Because with the map, guess what the map can do? The map says, I have a commitment to my real estate retirement versus joining a team or transactional PSA. If you go right to game plan, you're just hoping for that transactional PSA. There's no real team growth. It's happening so slow that you never get the benefit of what? Momentum. So what you do is that when you finish presentation, you go out and you say, listen, if you want to get started with this company, forget joining my team, forget a transactional PSA, For a price of $499, you can start witnessing the power of this. You can actually start working with the coaches. You can start working with the team, and that's what you need to do. So if you sell them a map, then what's immediately going to happen that week on your weekly check? You're going to get a fast start, $125. You're also going to pick up a what? A residual of $28 a month. Guys, this must become more exciting than a $3,000 commission.
Now that's going to be hard.
If you think the $3,000 is the real ticket, then you will play small in the business. If you want to get 100 $3,000 commissions, there's only one way to do that. That's building a team. You have got to get your mind geared towards this monthly residual and this fast start. And if you can't get excited about that because you're so blinded by a $1,500 or a $3,000 check, then the problem is you're not going to focus on building a team. And you're going to tell other people don't focus on building a team. You're going to say, just submit game plans and hold out for the check. Now, I know we got people here that make great money with that philosophy. And I'm not going to say it's a bad philosophy. I'm saying there is a different path we're seeing that allowed the Dixons to recruit 107 people in a 90-day time frame. Guess what they want to do during the next 90 days? They want to fill up our official convention with their team alone. They want to buy up all the tickets because of the momentum that they have. And if you talk to the people on their team, here's what they all have in general. You ask them in the comp plan what they're excited about. They're excited about fast start. They're excited about what do I do this week that pays me on my weekly commission run. It's that 125. It's that residual. Friends, that's the dream right there. Now, by the way, if you make this your focus, here's the cool thing. If you do sell a map, are you going to submit them for a game plan? Absolutely, because it might be time for them to upgrade when? Right now. If you try to sell the map and cannot sell the map, then what's your downsell? A game plan. Friends, everyone's going to get the game plan anyway, but one says, if you focus on the game plan, you pull off one of these. Some will, some won't. If you focus on the map, you're saying, I control my income. I do things today and this week that pay me. Do you see the shift in mindset? Now, by the way, how hard, how easy is it to sell the map? Selling the map is like easy. What's easier, selling a map or an elite PSA?
Yeah.
Selling the map is easier. By the way, the coaching department, who would they rather talk to? A free lead or a $499 lead? Yeah, $499. So when you're done pitching your presentation or watching a plug and play video, here's the conversation. By the way, I did this in Phoenix with a group of people and I closed half of the room on the map. And you know all I did is I said, so who here has a commitment to real estate being a part of your future? Great, and everyone raised their hand. You know that it's not overnight, right? And you know that it takes time. Here's what I know. Some of you can immediately transact and some of you cannot. But everyone starts this way. When it's time for you to transact, your game plan will tell you, and at that point, no money's lost because everything gets applied. By the way, you potentially can have Uncle Sam pay for your entire business in this program. How many of you would like that? We have a tax deduction program that does that. So if you're committed to real estate, how do you start? With the map. Friends, if you have that kind of conversation, $499 for what this can lead to, that's an easy sell. It means that you make a tweak in your mindset. One of those tweaks is that if you're an IBD, you are in sales. And some people like that and some people struggle with that. Are we asking you to become comfortable with the $16,000 sale? How about an 8? How about a $5,500? No. But if you can't acclimate yourself to comfortably pitching $499, your business will always struggle. Then the people you bring in, guess what you're training them to do? To struggle. Friends, that's why you have got to make this the most exciting money that you make. It's how you compress and explode your business. It's how you grow your business the biggest, the fastest. It's also the key to selling the most PSAs. So Kevin Clayson was out there in New York this weekend, and they brought more than a dozen brand new IBDs in because from stage, Kevin sells the map. From stage, what was I selling in Phoenix? The map. Well, just this morning, Kevin already texted and said, I got 3 people that want to upgrade. One of them already came through. I was talking to the Hackett's, and they went to the Eric Worre event, and they talked to the person, and they sold them on the map. Guess what they just committed to buy today? An elite PSA. Wow. You lead with the map. Now, by the way, you focus on the map, The game plan request is a natural what happens. And when you do the game plan, there's really only two possible outcomes. They're either going to take action now or they're going to be on the drip list. What does the drip list mean?
Constant contact, letting them know what's going on.
When someone says no and never, do you know how many big fish, like I'm talking about people that heard about us 3 years ago, are jumping on board eagerly today, that 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago said this isn't for me? Friends, if you were to ask one of our new top leaders out of Texas what his mindset is, he says there's lovers and haters, but don't worry, in the end, I'll get all the haters. They'll all be on my team. They'll all join. It's just that now is not the timing for everybody. So rather than getting attached to, is this person going to join, you play volume, you play the numbers. So some will, some won't. When we launched PS3, it's a simple texting system. We had in 1 week 700 views on that. And the 700 views that watched that 9-minute video through that texting system, guess how many of them became IBDs? 70. So the Hackett said, Chris, this next 30 days, we want to add 20 people to our team. And I said, great, how many exposures do you need to do? 200. You got to get 200 people to do that. And by the way, if you have 20 people joining your team, what do you think that means to momentum? It means that you are going somewhere. It means that you are compressing and exploding. So what you can control is your exposing, and what that leads to leapfrogging. So for example, I was on the phone today. Bill and Debbie Hackett put me on the phone with someone that just joined with the Elite PSA. They're joining as an IBD, and they've been an MLM. They were in another company. And so I said, are you also going to be joining the team to be an IBD? They said, absolutely. Why wouldn't we do that? And I said, great. The first thing I want you to do is make your big list and then shrink it down. What are the top 5 names of people you've rubbed shoulders with in the MLM industry that got you into the business? Who are the biggest people you know? You put them on a 3-way call with your leaders in this business. She said, I'm on it. I'm doing it right now. Why do you want to leapfrog to those people? Because you leapfrog to the point where you only bring in the relevant earners that are making $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month. We've had people in the last 30 days that make 6 figures a month joining this opportunity. So how is that team doing it? The focus is not on game plans. They're getting all the game plans anyway. The focus is on, what do I do that makes me income today? And that's the map. And so rather than, when I pitch this person, are they going to join my team as an IBD? Are they going to buy a PSA? Forget it. The map is the door to either of those paths anyway. If they get the map, are they going to become a teammate? They can opt into it because it costs how much? Free. And by the way, if they were going to buy a PSA anyway, then what's easier, going from free to an elite or going from a map to an elite? Map. So if you want to get your team producing, you got to get your team making money. Of all the things that we sell, what's the #1 product you go for? It's the map. So friends, do not do yourself a disservice. When you do a presentation, when you peek and pass, when you pique someone's interest and you do a presentation, the conversation you're having at the end is all about, are you committed to real estate being a part of your retirement? Because if it is, for a small price of $4.99, you can start that journey and access the entire team. And when the time is right, you can upgrade, you could build a team. We open the door to all of these things because the map is the door to getting there.